Hello and welcome to For Quick Cues Book Talk with Enfys. I'm Enfys Book from Major Arqueerna, and I'm very excited that today I have as my guest Ivo Dominguez Jr. This is the live interview chat show where I ask pagan authors 4 quick questions that are determined by a roll of the dice. And if you have questions in the audience, please feel free to pop them in the comments and we will circle around to them at the end. So let me tell you about Ivo before we dive in. Ivo Dominguez Jr. has been active in Wicca and the pagan community since 1978 and has been teaching since 1982. Ivo is a founding member and former high priest of Keepers of the Holy Chalice, the first assembly of the Sacred Wheel Coven, and he currently serves as one of the elders of the 14 ASW covens. His techniques and insights are rooted in a synthesis of traditional metaphysical teachings, modern science, and memories from past lives. Ivo has been published in numerous periodicals and is the author of The Four Elements of the Wise, and also, I've got them all here. We're going to show them all. Keys to Perception. And we've got, let's see, I'm just going to go in the order I have them. Practical Astrology for Witches and Pagans, Spirit Speak, and Casting Sacred Space, the one that I go back to a lot. So very excited. The newest one, Four Elements of the Wise, is really fantastic. I just posted a review of that on Major Arqueerna last week if you want to check out more of my thoughts on that. So welcome, Ivo. Great to have you here.
I'm delighted to be here. This is going to be fun.
I'm very excited. This is going to be fun. So, all right, ready to roll?
Yeah.
Big money, no whammies. All right, we get 7. What is something, we're gonna start with the spicy one. What is something you wish other magical or pagan authors would do less?
Well, besides just being bad behavior in general, I think I'm going to say what I'd like to see less of is frittering away their energy and talents on responding to lengthy troll posts on the internet. Blog for me, write more for me, show up at an event and do some teaching. Energy is precious, and don't feed the trolls.
Amen to that. That is a solid idea and something I'm going to try to bear in mind as my book comes out.
All right, fall into the trap.
It really is, because you want to make sure
Really
people
is.
understand what you're saying. Yeah. All right. We got a critical success. We got a 20. So
Ooh.
That means tell us something you're proud of today.
Okay. 3 things. It's actually 3 things. One, I finished a thing on deadline today that I'm writing so that I can begin the next chapter I'm writing. And that's a big deal for me because I'm juggling so many things. I was approached by somebody randomly on the internet that had a really good sob story. And I was able to say, no, I can't help you right now, but these are the following dates that we can have a short chat about it. So it was good boundary setting, which is really hard for me because I get a lot of requests, and I really can be a soft touch, unfortunately. So I guess those are the 2 big things. And I did some work on the garden, even though it's too early. I arranged all the seeds, and I'm ready to start all the sprouts for the underlights for the garden.
Yay. That's fantastic. Are you excited to get the greenhouse going?
Yes, I am, because that'll extend our season both at the beginning and at the end. And I did some insulating in it a few days ago. I'm building the beds that are going to go inside it. So it's getting there.
Oh, that sounds really fun. Awesome. All right, let's move on to, got another critical success. I'm not going to ask you the same question twice. So we will go, hey, the nice bracket for the first question. Number 8 is, what's something you wish other magical or pagan authors would do more?
I know it's not comfortable for everybody, but I'd like to see more panel discussions, or like 3 or 4 people on a Zoom together, because I really am missing conferences and gatherings and events right now where there can be real interaction between people that are, doing the work. And I would like to hear those conversations and have some of those. So I'd say that.
Solid. I would like to see that too. I know Llewellyn has been doing some various panel discussions on various topics
That's a good
online,
idea.
which is really cool. All right, number 4. These are quick cues. And so if anyone is watching, be sure to drop your questions in the comments. We're going to see if this week I can actually see them before the podcast is over. Fingers crossed. So now we get 18. Oh, you're going to like this one. What do you like to listen to while you write, and why?
Holy crap. I have really, really broad and eclectic musical taste. Um, so it depends. I mean, if I'm trying to get a lot of work done in a short span of time and I feel comfortable, I've already worked out where I want to take the material, then
Mhm.
it's going to be loud, intense, and bouncy. And loud, intense, and bouncy can be anything from, metal like Ginger to Donna Summer. Anything that is going to make my heart pump is going to be the loud background music. However, if I am doing something where I'm writing something that's kind of fidgety and fussy, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to say, or how to produce the right set of steps to make something make sense to somebody, then it's going to be ballady background music. Actually, a lot of the medieval stuff works really well for that. So it really depends. I mean, today I was listening to Bobby Basho, who's an virtually unknown singer-songwriter, guitarist from the 80s, who died young. And his stuff is otherworldly and quirky.
Hmm. So you can have lyrics in the background while you write. I find that confuses my brain a bit.
I grew up in a Cuban household with constant people yelling over each other all the time. So verbal stuff in the background does not impinge on my reality.
That's awesome. Have you gotten into any of the bardcore stuff, like taking modern songs and putting it to like a
I
madrigal?
love that. I love that.
Yeah, there's some really fun ones out there. I like that a lot. All right, well, that is 4 cues. That went super fast, but I tell you what, I'm going to drop into the chat now where you can follow Evo online and where you can find 4 elements of the wise. And while I do that, if you would not mind talking about 4 elements of the wise for those who are interested.
Sure. Obviously, it's about the 4 elements, but the big thing is that it takes it to places that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And it also has my big, giant, not really hidden agenda if you read the book, which is for people to take the 4 elements seriously and view them as something that is fundamental, as in being a cornerstone of the universe kind of thing, instead of, oh, this is the easy stuff that I picked up along the way at the beginning of my magical career. And also to treat elementals, the entities, the spirits, the beings of the elements, with the same kind of respect and honoring their agency that you would any kind of other spiritual entity that you might work with, because it's really easy to forget that there are beings that have their own separate existence. But it also was kind of like a piece that I had to write because it helps fill in the blanks for people. They're going to be reading my astrology book or my casting sacred space or anything else. Honestly, the biggest thing about that book was trying to figure out how to speak in 3 voices at once, so that depending upon the reader, they'd be able to tune into the sub-channel of the level of information that was right for them. And I try to do that in all the books, but it was in this book, it came through clearly. In the others, it's material is a lot more dense, so it's a little harder. So I don't know. It was not a hard book to write, but it wasn't an easy book to write. I think this was one of the middling ones for me in terms of difficulty.
Hmm. What I really appreciate about it is there's something of value on every page, regardless of where you are in your magical practice journey. Like, this is not one that is
Yeah,
for a specific skill level. Like, you're going to find
right.
great stuff if you're an advanced practitioner or if you're a beginner. Like, I would recommend this to anyone just starting out in magic, but also anyone who's been doing it for a long time.
I'll tell you the one irritating part about writing it.
Mm.
At any given moment, I had piles of books around me for the sole purpose of flipping through them and making sure that it wasn't going to be boring and derivative and like every other book on the planet. So I had to work at the other end of research, where I'm not trying to collect additional information. More so, I'm trying to figure out, okay, they forgot to include this, or they weren't interested in that part, so I'm going to add it in.
Mm-hmm. My favorite part of the book were the chapters toward the end where it was kind of, I'm just going to riff on the individual elements in a sort of disconnected way, where you had, here's like 4 paragraphs of a thought on the element, and then here's 4 paragraphs of a different thought about that element. I found those really engaging and really interesting.
Good, good. I was hoping it would stimulate. That comes straight from the outline of the class I give on the elements when I do it in real life.
Awesome. Well, Ivo, it's been such a pleasure to have you. We have no questions in the chat, so I will let folks know in the chat, and also if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description of the video, you will find links to follow Ivo online, and also links to get 4 Elements of the Wise. So thank you so much for your time. We will be back here in a couple of weeks with Yvonne Aburo. I'm really excited about that one. Yvonne is a non-binary pagan author who has written books like about inclusive Wicca and things like that. So that's going to be a great time. Thanks for being with me tonight, Ivo, and everyone who's watching. Thank you for tuning in.
It was great.